Richard, Martinsville, home track, right? About an hour up the road. Charlotte, about an hour down the road. But Martinsville is that place. Second win for Richard Childress Racing. By the way, 40 years ago, this race in Martinsville, Ricky Rhoden was able to win second win of the year in 1983. But special time for you to win that race at home. By the way, the race before that was out at the West Coast. Nobody, well, you only had a few people there. When you go to Martinsville, you come home, people got stuff hanging on the fence, right?
Oh yeah, it was wild. You know, go up there and be able to win. We won Riverside with Ricky Rudd. We'd won a race in USAC race down in College Station, Texas, and come up here and we won that race. We showed him he could win. He first said, "I can't win a race." A little something happened at Martinsville with Joe Ruttman and that bunch. You remember that. The year before, I'll never win. We led the race, had a lot. Carried him down and he won a race. And I think that was a confidence that Ricky Rudd needed, and I know it was a confidence that RCR needed, that we could go out and win those cars. Then we go up there to Riverside and we win out to Riverside. And then go to Martinsville and we win there. It was a big day for RCR and Ricky Rudd.
When I look around this place, the first thing that comes to my mind is not bad for a kid that was selling popcorn at Bowman Gray Stadium about 15 minutes ago, right? I mean, if there is a proof to the great American success story, the only in America story, it's probably you.
Well, I've been blessed. Good Lord's blessed me with health so far. Knock on wood. You never know. Every day's a blessing, you know. Every breath's a blessing. But, you know, just, you know, only in America. Started an old $20 race car and a dream, and just a kid having a great time. Chocolate and I, we were racing before that, and we had a lot of fun. And then went to Daytona in '69, built an old, borrowed $400 on my house back then, and to go buy an old wrecked Camaro, put it together, went to Daytona, qualified 8th, right outside of Parnelli Jones. Lloyd Ruby, excuse me. Lloyd Ruby.
Yeah.
And I knew what I was doing. All I knew I was going fast,
Yeah.
you know. And but that was a day, and here we are today with all these fans. And the only reason that any of us are successful, you got a job, I got a job, is because everyone's standing out here. If it wasn't for these race fans, none of this would be here today. This would just be another old tobacco field.
I'm going to share a quick story here about, and I go back to 1983. He didn't mean to give me a job, right? Well, he gave me a job working away from the racetrack or away from the race shop, but I would come over and hang out with those guys and then end up going to Martinsville and a few other places. It's down towards the end of the year, and he comes up to me and he said, and by the way, Piedmont Airlines is the sponsor.
Right.
These guys are able to fly to the race, to far away racetracks. He comes up to me and he says, "Hey, you ever been to Riverside?" No. "Are you kidding me?" "No." He said, "You want to go to Riverside?" And I said, "Oh, I am sorry. I'm going to California, guys, for the first time ever in my life." He said, "Good. I need somebody to ride with that truck driver out there." Road, not drove. Road in an 18-wheeler to Riverside, California and back.
I remember the driver. Do you? Yeah,
I remember him.
Yeah, but anyway, those were the days, you know. And man, we got some chocolate, and I got some many stories. It'd be incredible if we, a lifetime, couldn't tell the stories we got to tell.
And that ride, I mean, you talk about driving from Welcome, North Carolina to California. That was before interstates, right? It was 2 laners, right? One laner this way and the other one the other way.
Well, let me see. There's a lot of interstates then.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, back in the day when we went to Richmond, Virginia, interstate was not there, and we go up there and race and have a problem with the truck. Richard leaves me up there. He gets a ride home, so because he had to be at work the next day. Works all day long at Douglas Maverick, borrows another truck, drives back to Richmond that night, Monday night. Gets in there late, and by the way, I don't know if any of you guys out here have been in the museum or into the race shop. There is a picture over there of that truck on the back of another truck with a race car on the back of it. That was tough times.
Yeah, but we didn't know it was tough. We was just doing it.
Ain't racing glamorous?
Yeah, today, if these guys today and the crews, and I just had a conversation the other day, and I said, you know, we was talking about some different teams and different stuff, and I said, you know, we would probably have the least money of any team when we come along with and Earnhardt in early days. And you know how we done it? The will to work. We worked in that little shop up there for hours over hours. And the other shop on Guntree Road, we worked there. It was a will to win, and everywhere we went, we knew we had a chance to win Denver.
But you know, I want to go back because you taught me a valuable lesson one time in a roundabout way, and you weren't, I don't think, trying to teach me that lesson, but you talked about not burning any bridges. You talked about Dale Earnhardt comes here, he's here for part of a year, brings Wrangler along with him. At the end of the year, Wrangler says, what do we owe you? And you don't do those guys wrong, you do them right. 2 years later, Dale Earnhardt comes back with Wrangler again, 1984, and the rest is history. But not burning that bridge helped you get to where you're at today, right?
Yeah, you never burn a bridge. You never know when you'll have to walk back across it. And with Wrangler that day, those times I was in debt. We ran 10 races in 81 with Earnhardt. I was in debt for about, $75,000, $80,000, borrowed everything I could, everywhere I could to run Dale. We run good. And Wrangler, Ed Bowman, came over. He gave me $50,000 to help pay some of that debt off. And we had such a great relationship with the Wrangler groups over there, and still got my Wranglers on today.
I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and we talked about not burning bridges, and sometimes you got to leave, but you always leave on good terms because someday you might want to go back. Danny Stockman, I thought he is so happy to be coming back here next year. I thought he was going to cry before we were done. He has a genuine affection for this company and for you particularly. He was about as happy a man as I've interviewed in a long, long time.
Yeah, it was great to get Danny to come back. We've talked about it several times. The opportunity just wasn't there, and this time it worked out great to get Danny back, and got a young driver in Jesse Love. So they're going to do really great. They're going to build some great things over the future, and to have Kevin here today. We never burnt those bridges. We had our huffs, but everybody does in life. And to have Kevin here today was a big deal too. It's just great. Never, I can walk down pit road, so how do you want people to remember you? I can walk down pit road and never take one step aside, because I know I've never done people wrong. And I may not do what they wanted to, but I've never done wrong.
Well, you mentioned Kevin Harvick. I'm going to mention another one here real quick. That's the guy that's driving for you today. That's Kyle Busch, right? Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Chocolate, I didn't think you liked Kyle Busch. I said, I didn't when he was driving for somebody else. I'm liking him a whole lot right now. Right?
Yeah, Kyle and I, we talked about anything in the past, that's history. It says it in the Bible, put past behind you, look forward. And that's what he and I have done. And you talking about somebody that's fun and a pleasure to work with. We didn't know really when we got together how it was going to be. He didn't. Both of us were kind of, man, what's this going to be like? I tell you, I can't be more happier with any driver we've ever had than the conversations we can have, the talks we can have. He's going to help RCR get better for sure.
But you already have some.
Yeah, we have.
Is it? You're not in every race, right? Sometimes it's hunting season, right? A man's got to do what he's got to do. But you're at the vast majority of them. Does this life, this sport, this job, does it still have you leaping out of bed ready to go every morning the way it always did? Seems like it.
It does in a way. It's changed so much. I think I'll be going to 33 or 4 races this year. I'll only missed 2 or 3, and I'll miss 2 or 3 for something, but I still love it. I love every one of you all out here that gave me a job, keep me working today. All of our fans, our sponsors, our crew members. We got about 400 people here, and you look at that, you look at the families that you're responsible for. That's my responsibility, is to make sure them families have a job.
Well, not only does he go to the racetrack every day, he comes here every day as well.
I'm in the office.
I have stopped him before, and I said, Richard, why don't you take some time? And he says, I love doing this. I've got to make sure this gets done. And he is here at work each and every day.
it's a big responsibility, isn't it? When you got that many mortgages being paid, that many electric bills, that many kids going to college because mama or daddy works here, that's a big responsibility.
It is, and I think that drives me as much as anything, is I know that we're responsible for making sure those families can survive.
Well, you're doing a heck of a job of it. Keep up the good work. Thanks for the invite, right? This has been a lot. I mean, we just got here and it's already been a lot of fun. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's been great. Thank you all.